Welcome back to the deep dive. And today we're going to be looking at salmon DNA treatment.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, it seems like something that a lot of you are very interested in.
I've seen it around quite a bit myself lately. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys sent in a ton of articles, websites, testimonials, all sorts of stuff. I feel like we've got a pretty good selection here to really get into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, we can definitely get a comprehensive look from all these sources for sure.
So you want to know like what it is, how it works, what it's supposed to do, and then maybe if it's right for you. And honestly, I'm right there with you. I'm kind of curious about all this too. We've got sources here ranging from medical spas to dermatology clinics to like even a hair growth clinic.
Oh, wow.
So it sounds like it's got a pretty wide range of applications.
Yeah, a lot of different areas it can be used in, it seems.
So maybe before we get too far, maybe we should just start at the very beginning. What exactly is salmon DNA treatment?
Yeah, good point. So it's also known as PDRN therapy.
PDRN.
Yeah, it stands for polydeoxyribonucleotide. And basically it uses DNA that's extracted from salmon sperm.
Really? From salmon sperm?
Yeah, it sounds a little strange.
Yeah, a little bit.
But the science behind it is actually super interesting. Basically, salmon DNA, it turns out, is highly biocompatible with human DNA.
Okay.
And it's packed with these things called polynucleotides, which are basically long chains of nucleotides.
Okay.
And nucleotides, those are the building blocks of our genetic material.
Right.
And they play a huge role in like cell communication and regeneration.
So we're borrowing a little bit of the salmon's like regenerative powers.
Exactly. Like they're known for being able to heal really well and
Yeah.
replenish. And so we're trying to harness that.
Okay, so then how is it applied? Like how do we get this salmon DNA, working its magic on us?
So there are a variety of different ways it can be used. It can be applied topically. There are creams and serums. There's also injections, what they call mesotherapy.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. And then there are even facials.
Facials, really, with salmon DNA.
Yeah. Some people are getting salmon DNA facial.
Wow, okay. So a lot of different options depending on what you're looking for.
Exactly. It depends on what you're trying to treat and the
Yeah.
area you're trying to treat.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're putting this on our skin, we're injecting it, we're getting facials with it. What is it supposed to do?
Well, it's supposed to do a lot of things.
Okay, lay it on me.
It can improve skin hydration and elasticity. It can boost collagen production.
Which is huge. Everyone's always chasing that collagen.
Yeah, exactly. And that leads to smoother skin, fewer wrinkles. It can also help with wound healing.
Oh, wow.
It can reduce inflammation. It has antioxidant properties.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it sounds like it really is like a multitasker.
Yeah, it's tackling a lot of different things.
Yeah, a lot of potential benefits there.
Mm-hmm.
I also saw something in here about under-eye rejuvenation.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a huge area of concern for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then even hair growth.
Yes, I've heard that too. It can stimulate hair follicle growth and improve scalp health.
Really? So this is like a head-to-toe kind of treatment.
Yeah, it seems like it has potential for both skin and hair.
Okay, this is getting really interesting.
Okay.
So we've got a treatment that can potentially help with all sorts of skin concerns, maybe even hair growth.
It seems that way, yeah.
But before we get too carried away with all these amazing potential benefits, I think we should take a closer look at the specifics. Like, how does this stuff actually work? What's the science behind it?
Yeah, let's dig a little deeper into that. Okay, so we're talking about this salmon DNA helping with like cell regeneration and collagen boosting. Like, how does that actually translate into like anti-aging benefits?
Yeah, because I'm seeing that a lot in these sources. Everyone's saying salmon DNA is like the next big thing in anti-aging.
Yeah, it's definitely getting a lot of attention for that. And I think the idea is that by introducing these polynucleotides, it kind of gives your skin cells a boost, right? Like helps them to function better and more efficiently. Encourages that youthful regeneration that we're all looking for.
So it's like we're not just trying to cover up the signs of aging. We're actually trying to like reverse it or slow it down at least.
Exactly. And it's not just about wrinkles either. It's about like overall skin health and vitality.
Okay, so it's like we're giving our skin a chance to act younger from the inside out.
Yeah, exactly. Like on a cellular level.
Yeah.
And the potential applications seem pretty broad from what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, like what kind of stuff are we talking about?
Well, reducing fine lines and wrinkles, of course.
Okay.
Improving skin texture and tone. Some sources are even talking about addressing acne scars and sun damage.
Wow, it really does sound like it does a bit of everything.
Yeah, it's a multitasker for sure.
Now, I'm also seeing some stuff about using it preventatively, like not just to address existing issues, but to like slow down the aging process.
Yeah, that's becoming really popular in skincare. This whole idea of like proactive skincare.
Right.
Like taking steps now to maintain your skin health so you can hopefully prevent or at least minimize the signs of aging down the road.
So it's like an investment in your future self.
Exactly. And while more research is definitely needed to fully understand the long-term effects,
Right.
the early research does suggest that regular treatments could help to maintain that youthful elasticity and vibrancy.
So it's not just about turning back the clock. It's about keeping it ticking smoothly for as long as possible.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. But let's get practical for a minute. All this sounds amazing,
Yeah.
but how much does it cost? Is this, like, accessible to the average person?
Well, that's where things get a little tricky. The cost can really vary depending on a bunch of different factors.
Okay, like what?
Well, first of all, the type of treatment you're getting, right? Like topical versus injectable versus a facial.
Right.
And the area being treated, obviously,
Yeah.
the location of the clinic, the expertise of the practitioner, all those things come into play.
It's not a one-size-fits-all answer when it comes to pricing.
Yeah, unfortunately not. Definitely do your research and shop around.
Makes sense. Okay, so we're talking about injections, facials, all this stuff. Obviously, safety's got to be a big concern, right?
Unseen concern, yeah.
I'm seeing that a lot of these sources are really stressing the importance of, like, using authentic, high-quality products,
Right.
going to reputable clinics.
Absolutely. Especially when you're talking about injections or anything that's going into your skin.
Right.
There's always a risk of counterfeit products.
Yeah, it's scary.
Oh, yeah, it can be really dangerous. So, yeah, do your due diligence. Make sure the clinic is using products from trusted sources. They prioritize safety.
You don't want to cut corners when it comes to your skin.
Nope.
Okay, now I'm curious about something. A lot of these sources are mentioning combining salmon DNA treatments with other things.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, it seems like combining treatments can really enhance the results.
Okay.
You know, like I'm seeing stuff about pairing it with chemical peels, microneedling, even laser treatments.
So it's not necessarily like a solo act.
Right. Sometimes those other treatments can actually help to prepare the skin to make it more receptive to the salmon DNA.
Oh, okay.
Like, for example, a chemical peel can exfoliate the skin, create a smoother surface, or microneedling can create those tiny channels that allow the salmon DNA to penetrate more deeply.
So it's all about creating that synergy between different approaches.
Exactly.
But of course, you always want to talk to a qualified professional,
Of course.
because what works for one person might not be right for another person.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about all these potential benefits,
Yeah.
but are there any downsides? Are there any side effects that people should be aware of?
That's a great question. It's something you should always consider before trying any new treatment.
Right.
From what I'm seeing, salmon DNA is generally well tolerated,
Okay.
but some people might experience some mild redness or swelling at the injection site,
Okay.
but that usually goes away pretty quickly.
So nothing too serious, but good to be aware of.
Yeah, always good to know what to expect.
And of course, consult with a medical professional.
Absolutely. They can assess your individual needs, make sure it's a good fit for you, and make sure everything's done safely.
Right. Safety first. Okay, so I think we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the science behind salmon DNA treatment, the potential benefits, how to approach it safely and responsibly.
Yeah, I think we've given our listeners a pretty comprehensive overview based on the sources they provided.
So what are your final thoughts? What's the big takeaway here?
Well, I think the takeaway is that salmon DNA treatment is a really promising option, with more and more evidence coming out to support its potential benefits for both skin and hair.
Yeah, it is really fascinating.
It's natural. It seems to work really well with our bodies to promote that regeneration and rejuvenation.
It's amazing what we can do with, like, harnessing the power of nature these days.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And while it shows a lot of promise, it's important to be realistic, right? It's not a miracle cure.
Right.
And it should be part of like a holistic approach to skin and hair health.
All right, so healthy diet, exercise, good sleep, all that good stuff.
Exactly. You can't just rely on one treatment to do everything.
Right. It's about taking care of yourself inside and out.
Exactly.
It's like we're giving our skin a little helper to stay youthful.
Yeah, exactly. Giving it the tools it needs to thrive.
So it sounds like salmon DNA is not just about treating problems. It's also about, like, preventing them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a really important point. You know, we tend to focus on skincare once issues arise.
Right.
But what if we could take steps to maintain our skin's health proactively, you know, before those wrinkles and fine lines even start to show up?
It's like investing in your skin's future.
Exactly.
I like that. Okay, so we've talked about safety, we've talked about potential benefit, but realistically, how long do those benefits last?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
From what I'm seeing in these sources, it looks like results typically last anywhere from like 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
But regular maintenance treatments can definitely help to prolong the effects.
Okay, so it's not like a one-and-done kind of thing.
Not really. It's more like a routine, kind of like going to the gym.
Right, you got to keep it up.
Exactly. And most people start to see noticeable improvements after about 3 to 5 treatments,
Okay.
spaced out every 2 to 4 weeks or so.
So it's a bit of a commitment.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. But if you're serious about skincare and you're looking for something that can really make a difference,
Yeah.
it might be worth considering.
Okay, so I think we've pretty much covered everything there is to know about salmon DNA treatment.
Yeah, I think we've hit all the major points.
So final thoughts. What should our listeners take away from all of this?
Well, I think the key takeaway is that salmon DNA treatment is a promising new option with a growing body of evidence to support its potential benefits for both skin and hair.
It is pretty remarkable what they're doing with it.
It's amazing. It's natural. It seems to be safe and effective when used correctly. And it really taps into our body's own regenerative capabilities.
Like we're working with nature, not against it.
Exactly. And while it's not a magic bullet,
Right.
and it's important to have realistic expectations,
Rubbish.
I think it's a really exciting development in the world of skincare and hair care.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of potential there. Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into salmon DNA treatment. Hopefully you found this episode informative and maybe even a little inspiring.
Yeah, hope so.
As always, we encourage you to do your own research, talk to a qualified professional before trying any new treatments.
Always a good idea.
And most importantly, take care of yourselves inside and out.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's all for the deep dive. We'll see you next time.